Getting into the second half of the season, the Seahawks open with a win. We begin the second half of our season with a chalk talk that focuses on really what I love the most. And I think that's the run game. As much as I like the passing combinations and the schemes, the Seahawks' ability to run the ball and get yardage and get to one-on-ones in your run game is impressive as anything that they do. So we're going to break down Marshawn Lynch's touchdown run. And as always, it is the details. It's the little things. And I hope as you've watched these chalk talks and then you go in and you watch the replays of the game, I hope one of the first things you're looking for as they break the huddle, what formation and what's the personnel group? That's always your first tell for what Darrell Bevell wants to do and how he wants to attack. On this play, personnel, 2 tight ends. You get Zach Miller and Anthony McCoy. Why do you do that? Well, you've seen throughout the game that when you go 2 tights, you get the base structure of Minnesota's defense. And as they game plan and they get down in the red zone, they know exactly what Minnesota's going to do with that personnel group in this formation. Secondly, that's personnel. Here's formation. The Seahawks start off in a wing alignment. They call this east-right motion, and they're going to motion down to bunch. Why do they do this? They don't just line up. They don't just throw guys out there. Every one of these personnel groups and every one of these formations is used to try to dictate something to the defense. So they're going to motion Sidney Rice down into bunch. They do this for a few different reasons. Number one, well, what are they going to do and how are they going to adjust off it? Number two, because most of the time when you get to a bunch formation, and especially in the red zone, you're going to get some automatic calls from that defense. More often than not, you're going to get 4 guys that try to zone it off and play a box. And more than that, you're going to get the eyes of that defense focused where? Well, you're going to get the attention of, oh, here comes bunch. Now, Minnesota does a good job. They don't even signal. They get to their automatics. They actually handle that part of the distraction pretty well. But that's why you get to bunch. Secondly, okay, watch the little details here. We talked a lot about the struggles of some of the Seahawk linebackers and trusting some of their keys. And as Pete Carroll talked about gaining an experience, watch Russell Wilson on this play. This is just a zone concept, one of the bread and butter Tom Cable's system. And you're going to see Anthony McCoy pull around here to handle the end. But more importantly, watch the quarterback here. You know what he does? Instead of just turning and handing the ball to Marshawn Lynch, he reverse pivots. And when he reverse pivots, watch the film. Watch the impact that has on that linebacker, because what's that linebacker taught? If he reverse pivots, well, it could be counter, away, and it also could be what the Seahawks do a ton of, and that is play action pass. Fake and get him on the run. That action, in my opinion, helps to dictate this guy's flow out of the play. No reason why he should get as out of whack and out of his gap integrity as he does. I think it's a little detail of Russell Wilson. And then lastly, and most importantly, in so many of these plays, whether it's run game or it's pass game, you want to get to a one-on-one. How do I get my best player, in this case Marshawn Lynch, how do I get him in a one-on-one with a safety or a corner? How do I get him to handle, in this case, Harrison Smith in the hole? Well, that's the beauty. And this is where you're going to see their zone concept. And you're going to see Max Unger, who, by the way, second team or first team All-Pro center by Peter King, have wonderful leverage to get to the linebacker. Moffitt does a nice job. Russell Okung does a marvelous job in a 2-point stance of selling and coming back and blocking that in with that linebacker out of alignment. Look at this hole on the backside for Mr. Marshawn Lynch to run through. He sees it. He sees the double team getting to the linebacker. And with all this experience in the scheme, well, guess what he gets? He gets a one-on-one with Harrison Smith at the goal line. And I think we know how one-on-ones with safeties in beast mode go. Advantage Seahawks.